in South Korea.
The coalition has locked in additional time on a plan to slash speed limits down to 70 kilometres an hour on regional roads. Well, for more, joining us live is the Shadow Minister for Regional Development, Dr. Anne Webster. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So for viewers who might not be aware of this, can you talk us through it? And is it all regional roads?
So, Janie, what's happened is that the Labor government had started a consultation 4 weeks ago with no press and no information to the public, an open consultation, but you don't tell anyone it's happening. That's a problem. And it is designed, the consultation is specifically looking at reducing default road speed limits on roads which are not signposted. There are a lot of those across regional Australia. And they're looking at reducing it from 100, which it currently is as a default speed limit, to 70 kilometres an hour potentially. So what's very interesting about this is that we called out the Labor government for not making it public, and that it actually closed on Monday this week. And we called for an extension, which they have now done, despite Krista McBain stating that it happened 2 weeks ago. Well, that's not so. And the extension also was not made public. It just happened to change on the departmental website. I think what's really concerning here, Janie, is that the aims, if you like, the benefits that this particular consultation is looking for is to reduce fatalities, which of course nobody is going to disagree with. We all want to see fatalities on our roads decrease. They want to see fuel consumption decrease. I didn't know they cared. And thirdly, they want to see emissions reduction. I can see Chris Bowen's fingers all over this. This is a government that is all about trick and no treat.
We do have a little bit of a grab from the Emergency Management Minister, Chris McBain, from yesterday's show, and it was a little bit about lazy politics. Here's a bit of a grab to play you.
What I think is quite lazy politics is politicians spruiking lines like that. Unfortunately, this is a priority action of a previous road safety plan, a plan that was implemented by the former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack, a Nationals member himself. So lazy politics is not understanding where the action plan came from.
What would you say to those comments, Anne?
I would say that I've spoken with Michael McCormack. 2018 was when he opened the concept of a consultation. He didn't go ahead with it because it's not good policy. And when you look at the state of regional roads and the lack of funding that this government has failed to put into our regional roads, and the state of disrepair that every regional Australian is living with, that is where the danger is. So the focus needs to be on repairing the roads and ensuring that regional people can get from A to B, take their kids to sport and to school and do the shopping, go to a health appointment. Freight trucks can get from farm to port or to market without having to slow down 70 kilometres an hour, because this is ultimately going to impact productivity as well. And this government appears to not pay any attention to it. I do note today, Janie, that it is Halloween, apparently, and I have the feeling that this consultation and the approach that the government has taken was taken at witching hour.
Well, OK. You've got that extension. What else can be done? I mean, we hear about potholes, we hear about the dangerous conditions. Where will the money come from to fix the roads, in your opinion? Where can it come from?
Well, the funding needs to be reinstated, in my view, for local roads and community infrastructure. That was a funding that councils absolutely loved because it was untied and uncontested. So they didn't have to compete with big metropolitan councils. And Labor, of course, it was an 80-20 principle from our side. So Coalition said, we'll provide the 80% of funding. You find the 20, which of course they could go to the state government or develop themselves if they happen to have the ability to raise revenue. And what the government has done is made it 50-50. Well, for small regional councils, that is very, very difficult. And people need to understand that actually all councils have responsibility for 77% of the roads and the road networks across Australia. So it's an enormous, enormous cost and extremely difficult for small regional councils to actually find the funds for. So Labor are not assisting them. They've removed LRCI, the Local Roads Community Infrastructure Program. While they do say that they've increased the funding to Roads to Recovery, they've also slashed funding on roads. So, you know, that we had plenty of other funds, including Building Better Regions, which was so much better for the ability of councils in particular to spend funds on, you know, new roundabouts or new intersections. Yeah, it's just not been aided by this government at all.
Well, it sounds to me you prefer more treats than tricks, Dr. Anne Webster.
Absolutely.
Being Halloween, we've got to, you know, lighten it up. You had that Halloween theme before. So, yes, plenty more treats and no more tricks. Thank you so much.
That's right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.